morning, and to Ojo World, we in sumo mode. And of course, this morning, Mars versus Venus, we welcome the beautiful ladies, the ones who got the WAP.
Or wappy.
The wappy ladies. All the ladies.
Wappy wappy.
Yeah. Some let they wap out more than others, you know. We welcome our beautiful gladiators here, one fighting for relationships. And of course, we welcome the men, the Spartans, the ones who keep us fighting. The Spartans. Ooh.
All right, guys.
Are they supposed to go woo, woo?
No. Right now, in a different zone.
Of course, this is Mars versus Venus, where we bring couples closer together or we drive them further apart.
All right, guys. We're talking WAP today in relationships. And when we say WAP, we mean wanting an appropriate partner.
Oh, yeah. What kind of partner are you looking for?
Wanting the appropriate partner.
All right, of course, this stemmed, if you weren't with us earlier, this stemmed from, we know Cardi B has divorced Offset because he cheated on her too many times. And
She have any proof of that, though?
I don't know, mister. I just reported the news. And many people came out saying, yes, good, leave him, etc. But this particular woman, a young black woman, she's been trending. She came out and said that black women fooling themselves. She wasn't wife material to begin with. So how you expect a marriage to last when you're showing your skin to everybody? And she's saying that young black women are being led by the Kardashians of the world, the Megs of the world, the she called a few names, Nikki Minaj, and that is not real. It's not life. And if you go down that road, which many young black women are going down, marriages are not going to last. So we're talking.
I'm annoying you.
Yeah, all kind of things in relationships today. What's accepted, what's not accepted.
Let me firstly say I don't 100% agree with the young lady, because I think profession, obligation to a persona has nothing to do with the real individual. So saying because of her history, her past and things, she can keep a husband is not an appropriate statement. That's from me. Because I think people can change. People change over time. And what you want for yourself at home is not necessarily what you want for yourself out in the streets.
And I think people grow too. But her response to that is they do it because they want to do it. The responses we always hear about strippers, etc., it's for the children. They will do it for the children. She said, there are women who would never do anything like that for the children. They will do everything else but. And women who do those kind of things want to do it. We always talk about the new age is a way women now are doing it, doing the degrees while
stripping, because
paying for the school fees while stripping, and then many a times when they do get the degrees, they were making so much money that they're not going to do law or whatever.
There's a lot of
full
things,
time.
There's a lot of things that are normalized now.
Yeah.
You understand? And we need to come to that realization. There's a lot of things that are normalized now, and it starts from the basics. Look at television. 15 years ago, what's normal on television now is not normal 15 years ago. For instance, homosexuality is normalized. Violence is normalized. You have to understand that watching a scene where a man take a sword and slice somebody's neck is normal. Watching a scene where two young girls fall in love with each other, or two men fall in love with each other and have a crazy love affair, normal. So normalizing certain things is what's been happening. And for instance, when we talk about a woman's sexuality in terms of how she carries herself, it is now deemed normal. A lot of people too accept what we consider open relationships, right? It's not really what it is now. People living in a place now where they think as though, okay, I'm in a relationship with you. It's a possibility, it's a risk that you can have an extramarital affair, or you could, as we say, cheat on me. So why we have to get there? Let us leave the relationship in a place where if you feel the urge to have sexual relations with somebody, go right ahead, keep me informed, let me know what it is, and let us have an understanding as to how we move forward after that said encounter.
They have those?
I listen.
No, they have those. They have people who have relationships.
You got to sign up for that before you say I do.
Well, when you're courting or chatting up or whatever you want to call it, you say, here we're going on, bro.
They have open relations.
We are entering this as a partnership. if you feel like you get the urge that you go pretty boys tonight and you see a small and you look in a jam, come here and say, yo, tonight is jam night. And it's Friday, I go see you Sunday. Go give it a day to space out, to breathe, to thing. And we come back together.
My WAP need to breathe.
Whoop!
WAP!
You understand? There are many types of relationships
Yes,
out there.
there-
Type of
there-
relationship.
there's many
There's some girls who believe in, okay, I'm gonna cater to my man. And when we say cater, some people automatically think I'll cook for him, put peas in a bowl, put provision at the side, and then others believe cater to him all around. His sexual needs. I am here. I will call a friend. At night he come home. Me and Sandra home we naked.
Sandra.
Yeah. Me and Sandra go think up for my man because that's what he like. So I'm doing what my man like. There are
Right.
women who operate in that mind frame.
Yeah, and we shouldn't. I think we shouldn't judge once everybody is adults and have their
Understanding, their form of understanding.
My point in relationships have always been, once you make the other person uncomfortable, then it's a no-no.
And not only that,
Right?
people need to, both men and women need to understand themselves first and don't live out a body for somebody else. Meaning there are things that
Or
I
for society,
personally think I'm one of the most forward-thinking, liberated individuals around in terms of what might be good for you, not necessarily good for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I will never judge. I don't judge. I not judge. I have all type of friends. If you feel to do whatever, but if you feel to flip half naked in the night and they want to pick you up after your trip, no problem.
What kind of friends you have?
It's cool. It's cool. If you and your man having a little problem and you was in the club half naked and he can come with no problem. But that is not. It's not personal to me. I will come as a friend, give you a help out. But it's not to say I can't sleep comfortable knowing that is the kind of life you're leading because it's not something I am comfortable with. And that's all I'm saying. And a lot of people get into things. You see somebody you like them, but you see the red flag. You know there's a quality in them that you don't 100% like, but you ignore it, and that's when the problem starts. So we're going back to, I don't honestly believe, Nikki, that she had a right to say you can't get a husband or can't keep a man because of how you carry yourself. Because how she carry herself as a profession, she could get a man who will be comfortable with that. Maybe he didn't respect who she is as an individual. This is Offset I'm talking about. Offset Muzzy had like the outside look of it. It was never supposed to be a relationship. It was supposed to be somebody I could jam, have fun with, but not somebody I can settle down with. And that's how I see it.
All right, let's get some comments out.
Nikki Roddy Jaiga, good morning, Joel.
Morning.
Jaiga, yeah, you could behave like that in Trinidad. Come in London and do that. The same phone you want to take from them, that's the same phone they're using to call the police for you.
You're talking about children, really. Yeah.
Listen, we living in America and I am raising my child like we in Trini. She telling me the other day, oh, mommy, you know we're friends? No, child. You 6 years old. My friends are all over 21. No, me and you is not no friend.
Not no
Oh,
friend.
mommy, you know.
Sorry, I'm trying to get to the other one.
Topic.
Yeah, topical.
All right, top of the morning to the Ojo panel, top of the
Morning.
morning to all the Ojo listeners all over the world. It's your boy DJ Brown Sugar, the Fat Nation family. And this morning I'm taking time out to say happy birthday to my daughter,
Yeah.
Chanel Valley.
Chanel.
Yeah, happy birthday, Chanel. And also congratulations to my nephew, Isaiah Samuel. So big up all yourself. Have a time. Yeah, you got all the subjects, the POA and POB and all these things. So congratulations to those who kids got their subjects. And for the ones who didn't get the subjects, well, go back again. Don't give up. Right? Be what you want.
You fall long 7 times to get a paid. Not only women, what about the men? Yeah. So I guess the flip side of it too, you know.
Yeah, but it's both sides, guys. And I'm speaking from, I don't want to sound one-sided at all. I just mentioned that because we open the conversation talking about daddy. But it's both sides.
What are you talking about? Strippers today? That is my favorite subject.
Because there are women who will meet a man, right?
Because in the States, that's a big thing, and men stripping and men.
But in Trinidad, it's not a stripper, man. It's nowadays called a F-boy, right? It's considered like a F-boy is considered like a stripper. So
Stripper boy, yeah?
yeah, but not rampant like that. Here, it have fellas who not going in they're stripping, but they didn't doing it in a building.
Oh.
how they doing it is a little different.
On
yeah.
call.
They do it on call.
Oh,
Nobody
right.
doing it in no
For
building.
jobs and thing.
Yeah, it's not really. There's not a job like that and call a job. That is their job. The
That's what I
person-
mean.
No.
That's the job.
You mean somebody calling them to do a job?
Right? That's not the job?
No, their job. That is their job within themselves. The girl know that he's a job. If you understand what I'm saying. All fellas do it in Trinidad. The girl, the stripping, they're doing all that they do, but she don't know she paying for a service. She thinking that she man. That is the difference. She thinking, oh, I'm introducing you to the friends. Look, my boyfriend, man. He know he back at event. Girl, I just looking at him.
Thing like society tries to input their beliefs into people's relationship, and it's starting to get ridiculous. Everybody looks from the outside looking in and say, well, this is what should happen or what shouldn't happen. But people forget, you don't know the full story. People only tell you what they want you to know. They don't tell you everything. They just tell you what you want you to know, and people run with that. So if she was a stripper before, if she was this, she was that, you never know what he saw in her and what she saw in him that made them get together and got married, and now it just didn't work. That's just how some relationships are.
Correct
but
is right. It's
everybody
magnified.
have an opinion, and because she sang a song, people think that a song represents her life.
Well, we took it a little further because, as I say, we have a whole next generation growing up thinking that that's the way to catch a man. You show as much skin as possible. And that for me is where you have to step in as you all talk as parents to ensure that your kids don't only see that, because sex will be everywhere, but it's up to the parents to bring up kids.
Every problem does come.
Real parents feel too, Nikki.
Yeah, parents just feel too.
Real parents feel
Every
it.
issue does coming for me when it says and you see Cardi B in her light and shining armor. Do the WAP video, Megan, come on and thing, whatever, and then you, in your mental space, thinking to yourself, wait now, I have the WAPs or the WAPs, but you still have to knock your grandmother louvers to come home when you don't even have a copy of she key for she house. Yeah. But in your head, you had the sweetest WAP, and you is the greatest of all greatest, not knowing that you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of personal growth that you need to see about when you walking around here about wapping on the social media, wapping.
My whole thing is, for me, everything takes time. Is a growth thing, because everybody went through their phase, man and woman. We come up in a time where we used to hear all the rude boy songs and things, but not everybody pick up a gun and go and be a rude boy. Yeah, you understand? So their period, I think everybody need to have that, what we call that, they call it the whole phase. Everybody need to go through the little something.
Oh, it's have a whole phase?
Yeah, it's have a little period in your life.
Nikki?
But
she did in Canada.
Yeah.
Canada.
Respectfully, you had a whole phase?
Canada.
As horse now. Like ho, Christmas.
December, okay, so?
It was like more like November, so.
It was December, Nikki.
Your whole kicking before
October, November.
Before Santa reached your whole kicking.
I cut off before Santa reached. I cut off, boy. My age group after a certain night,
what you trying to tell me is that every female has a
Not
host.
every female.
What are you saying?
Every man and woman goes through a period in your life. You go through a period in your life. Some people start later than some. There's some women who maybe had a kid early, 1920.
Feel them miss out.
And they, for that period, they were full on mothers. They took care of the children, whoever. Now they entering 40, looking good, feeling good. Man, young boy watching them. They never really experience that pheromone.
Yeah, but why is that a whole phase?
No, it's just a term, Rudy. We're not calling anybody any names. Meaning you do things. You do things that you see.
Wish.
Hold on now, bro. You do things that society deem wish. Like, for instance, if you're 40 right now and you're feeling yourself and you're looking good, right? Yeah. And yesterday for the holiday, you happen to go out with Marlon because he been asking you to go out and he prepared a nice day. And last night by Marlon, You find that the day was well spent with Marlon. Marlon had a nice little place. He carry you home. You realize, and you woke up this morning to go to work at home because you're working home, but you wake up by Marlon to go by you to catch your laptop because you leave it home. But you damn well know you're telling Brent that this Saturday you're on Heliman. You in that phase.
No, for me, I always say it's a dating phase.
It's a dating phase, Nikki, and it's when Kid Gaya Bly phase. You know when Kid Gaya Bly, you hear the song? When Kid Gaya Bly, where's Happen Roddy? Where's Pay Leg? In the sky. So we say... That's the song. No, that Kid Gaya Bly. I want to see two legs in the sky. You understand? So that's what I'm saying. So,
but, you know, I'm sorry, you know, society has always deemed women that... versus men who was able to do it all the time.
Sad to say.
Sad to say.
But
So
there's some men who never had that, eh? Let me be real.
Yeah, well, them was like on the B list.
It has some men.
Wow,
It has
Nikki.
some men,
True,
Nicole.
man, no man never went through that. It's because you didn't really have to go through it. You
That's
know?
some man. Don't know nothing about that, eh? When I get that one girl.
So you know on the A list, you know, you was on the B list for a while.
Wow.
So
But
because
he
you started to
really-
make video and think now people like you. You was skinny with your big toe running around. Nobody was with you.
On the bus shoot, only waiting for Maxi and girl doing all kind of thing. Into you was only buying phone for girl and buying vinyl and buying fan and getting running.
So
Remember?
white is a man to himself, right? White is a man to himself. Can't just say, you know, something straight and narrow. I ain't
Yeah,
out
of
here.
course
I ain't out here to play with no girl feelings.
They have men
Real
like
talk.
I have men like
I
that.
tell you, know, straightforward. Listen,
You're honorable
men
man.
like
listen.
that.
I don't want you.
Yeah.
You could jam, but I don't want you.
Yeah.
That is not
You're
considered. That not considered a hoe.
You know.
I let you know as it is.
You're honorable
Listen,
man.
I
You're
see in
honorable
Keisha. If you want to think up, you can think up. You
They have
know.
men like that.
But I just letting you know.
They have men like that. But to catch
And
a
then there's
man
men
from a
like me
woman,
who was like 4 women in the entire life and you were always committed.
Right.
duck,
Right,
Brody,
Jaiga,
duck,
right.
duck, the lightning. The lightning come and duck.
Right.
What is that boy? What kind of lightning talk is that, Nico? You offer?
But then they have man who have 4 women one time.
Don't know about that.
Normal.
I never even had a friend who do. I don't know nothing about that.
Any women who don't know
nothing,
about
nothing,
each
nothing.
other. That's what you're talking about.
Don't know nothing about that.
Let's not pretend.
I
They have
never
men
really
is-
believe in that.
They have
I don't.
men who
I think I too straightforward. That is why it is.
they have men
does get
who
good.
is rinse out women, yes, and make them feel you're the only one I'm interested in.
But once you're
But
speaking
have
to
fun.
somebody that's no, Nico, let me stop you there. That is
Stop me.
being attentive.
What? Huh?
You cannot blame and fault a man for being attentive, Nico.
Oh, he's attentive.
If I'm speaking to you, it's only you I talking to. I can talk to you and somebody at the same time. You're wicked or what?
Let's play our voice, no there.
WAP. WAP.
Yeah. A rich Jaiga.
Aquaman.
Nikki.
Really? Real excitement with you there.
The raw barbecue.
What?
Yeah.
Roy's here.
What's your other hole? What's what we doing?
The man is coming here like you know.
Bump to you, Jed.
He reach and yeah. We cooking. What we doing?
Morning,
Come
Nikki
now, man.
Jaiga. Jaiga, you're saying the thing so easy, making it sound like it. But Jaiga, at the end of the day, that is not a life. I mean, it happens in the real world, but that is not a life. Some people could deal with that, and there's a time in their life when they're going to think about, nah, I don't want that life no more. So that could never be a life. That to me, that becomes like a life of crime.
I hear that, but again, try articulating
That
that
is
to
a-
somebody who is in that space.
That's
that
a
is
life
a-
of crime.
I don't know.
That's a
No,
rough.
she making comparison,
yeah,
but there
yeah.
are people who in their everybody go through different phases. There are some people right now where their life is set in their mind and mindset and mental and psyche. That is what is good for them.
Guys, our life where you're trying to have your cake and you're eating it at the same time, and you want cupcakes as well, and you want brownies,
will
and you want everything else.
And because the new generation's way smarter, they find better and clever ways to articulate how good or show you everything that you might not thought of. They go in and tell you, hey, let me show you why this could make sense. And that is what it is. Everybody now is trying to write over history, write over what is
Okay.
correct. And that's what's going on.
So what about, and this has happened to women too, I don't know on the men's side, but from a woman's side, you like a woman, she dresses very sexy. We know the kind of woman we talking about, very sexy, walking a party and everybody turns a mess.
Yes.
And eventually he loved that about you, he get with him, and then all of a sudden
It becomes inappropriate.
he don't want you to dress like that no more. Is that because men now, I try to understand it, men don't want other men now to watch what they consider their property, their woman?
Me personally, I don't know
Because
how,
it happens a lot with relationships,
I guess it's a mental thing for the man. Like for me, I think I've always saw the person you're with being, how to put it, boy, super attractive as a thing. If you understand what I'm saying, like me personally, this is my personal preference. I'm not saying everybody has to be so. I have no issues with, there's appropriation and inappropriation. But if you have a girl and she's hot and she's look good, I want you to look good. At the end of the day, it gives me, the man, a sense of, hey, it's my song corny. It's a sense of accomplishment. It's like, wow, I'm fortunate to have somebody that looks this amazing. But I'm not expecting you for when mommy say, cool, hold on, she's having something in the church Sunday.
Yeah, you come in Christian with all the belly outside.
You understand? And you have the big tattoo on your back with the dragon, and you you wear a dress with it falling, and you crack your boomsy right there, and the pastor seeing it, and then when you bend down because your fan fall down in the church and you bend down for the whole congregation realizing I have no underwear.
Let's pull out church from it. She wearing that same kind of outfit where when she going out with you, meaning that you could see
appropriation is where we going, Nikki. It depends on where we going. I use church because of where we going. I have no problems with that, but you need to understand as a woman too, respecting yourself and your man.
Yeah, I think once you respect yourself, it
has some kind of class too.
It's like going to a PTA meeting.
Has some kind of class.
Honey, we going to a PTA meeting.
Right,
I'll meet you there. When I reach the PTA meeting, you in a leggings with no underwear, are cropped up. You understand? Face fully done, weave down to the ground, and you know it's in the child school you're going. You're wicked out. All the principal watching you with him mouth open, you know how to start to talk, not that off.
Brody, I think you have it mixed up there. You know, a man who's straightforward with his hoeing doesn't make him a hoe. Honey, a man or a woman being promiscuous and being forward with their promiscuity doesn't lessen the fact that they hoeing. It just doesn't. So they may be honorable, but they still hoeing.
So
there's no honor. What she's saying, there's no honor.
So in your eyes, even if it is a man being straightforward and saying I have two other females that I'm dating and seeing right now.
Being honorable.
It doesn't matter.
It just being honorable.
He's still a hoe.
Yeah, he's still that.
Because if a woman was doing it, all right. You don't just let people's life they live and find their happiness. Offset was a dog and stop blaming Cardi B. Shout out in Boston. I thought calling people. I don't know. I don't know if we could use that word though.
What's that?
Somebody asked if we could use that word on here.
What's that?
We ain't cursing nobody.
Well,
it's
for this show, I guess. Because
only for this in the context, but it's in the context in which you use it. We're not calling anybody any name. I never say so and so is a this and this and this. I guess it's being appropriation. It's not like it's like when your girlfriend just use the F word.
Word for it, then. Let's find out.
W. Because I'm not going through a headache. Because it's like look for it this way. It's like people the human beings glorify the F word in them because it's used in so many times. Sometimes somebody tell you the F word in a good way.
Quincy, is that Sweden? Yeah, Sweden. Children's innocence are not protected anymore. The market is the source of the issue. We need to keep kids' content completely separate from adults. That takes a lot of...
It's real work.
Good morning, Joel. Nikki, I get what you're saying about the men can't manage or wanting the woman to change how she dressed. There's two scenarios. The first one is where the man can't manage the competition that he gets from other men when his woman dressed that way.
Oh, sorry, somebody trying to call you.
The men when his woman dressed that way. And the other one is time and place. Like, is it appropriate to dress the way she is at the place that you're attending to? I think that's kind of the issue.
Yeah, for me the issue was she used to dress sexy when we go out. I'm not talking time and place. I'm talking we used to go to parties. She used to be sexy, and now we go in parties. You don't want her to dress sexy no more. You want her to more
be conservative.
The belly and the booby used to be outside. No, what's going on with you? I'm talking about that change and shift with men when they see a woman who they think very sexy and they love that about her, but when they get in the relationship, they start to pull back and want her to cover up. And many women go through that. Morning. What? I could do it a little faithful Zessa girl. She faithful to me and the Zessa alone. Them softies not cutting it.
Oh, Joe.
See me, I
So,
honest.
the party just needs a girl that can stand up for him. He needs an independent woman. A woman who will love his son, Party Tram. A woman who is not the Sophie, because the Sophies are so 2010. We need women to stand up in 2020. You gotta be tough. It's tough out here. A girl who's always respectable, but she voices her opinion at times. And the body guts to be banging. Oh, Joe.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you. The body's got to be banging. The correct word is adult entertainers. Women should be able to express themselves without having to explain themselves. Equality. How about we say an expressive phrase? Jaiga, no one is trying to rewrite history. We are moving forward. Generation Z is really different. Be prepared. Equality. Men, women, to let go their egos. By the way, I'm a man. Nice.
See what I'm telling you? That's what I see. That Generation Z, it is the hardest generation to have a conversation with if you're not from that generation. You have to prepare your mind. Thank God. I am reminded every day. I am reminded every day I say so. Listen to what I'm telling you, man. This is Generation Z. You see, that's what you're speaking of there is not cutting it anymore. Right. And that is when a different generation, I mean, come on, one that's not on the alphabet. I just want to get generation. Anyway, I'm not sure about it.
Good morning, Roger and Auntie Nikki. I love you.
Oh, love you too. She's sweet. You hear that innocence? Jaiga, on point this morning. In a nutshell, if it's not for you, if it's not for you, keep it pushing.
That's all. It's basic. It's basic. A lot of the times you try, Nicole, for the sake of you want. That's a human thing. You have to understand something. There are one-on-one things, and you know that in psychology. There are things that your human mind wants it. You know it not fair, you know. It come like, for instance, a diabetic. You know the doctor tell you, do not eat Haagen-Dazs. Right. It is too sweet. But oh God, but if I take a one spoon, I ain't go dead. But your sugar will go up. It's the same thing in relationships. You see the people and them hot girl, you see in Sandra daughter looking best, you know you cannot handle Sandra daughter. Leave she alone. Why you there? Who sent you? Now when Sandra daughter gone by Marlon, you want to come with cutlass or she goes, Sandra. Better who sent you by Sandra? Leave Sandra alone. Alright guys, welcome back. We are here, we talking about what's appropriate in a partner. You understand? Basically WAP in relationship, but we change the acronym up a little bit. Because as we clearly see, having the WAP doesn't necessarily mean it keeps everything together.
Let's get some messages out. Whoa.
Check that code.
Alright. Oh, sorry. That's the England flag. Okay, I thought it was Sweden. Let's mix it up. You even know that's England flag.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with women dressing sexy. If my girl wanna dress sexy, she could dress sexy. You don't need to dress revealing to look sexy. So yeah, come on, it have a difference. If somebody dressing revealing, showing off a little too much to look sexy or whatever, that's a difference. But it have women who can literally dress and look extremely sexy and don't show off too much, if you know what I mean.
So that you could tell them who going gym Monday to Sunday. You understand? Monday to Sunday, she doing deadlift and all kind of thing and squat right through and all kind of hamstring pulls and all kind of thing. And you telling Tasha to do not put on it after she doing all. Tasha squatting 75 by 75 thing, doing pull, running up mountain, turning big tire, and he telling Tasha, do not look. Nah, you awful. I want to see you try that.
Have a crazy man about to come president and might win the election in America and change so much stuff. All you're worrying about Offset and Cardi B and how people living? Come on.
Well, it pertains to relationships. You're talking relationships. If you don't like relationship stuff, don't listen on a Friday. Was every day so I go deal with Trump and them? She got purchased already. Why she's still advertising? Wait. So that's one way I look at it. Yeah. So you see it as advertising.
That's what people say.
Yeah.
That you got. But the new term for it is strapping.
Like if a woman dresses.
Cardi?
So when you pick up a man, you should stop.
Yeah, but that's not job spec.
Yeah, but not just Cardi. We're talking women who dress sexy like
that.
Yeah,
we can't compare to Cardi because that is her line of work.
They say that a woman advertising, I'm single and looking for a relationship, and then as you say, after they get purchased.
Yeah, it's like
Still,
when you put
you
something
still have
in,
your thing on your shelf, and
it come like anywhere you go. If you passing down a store and you see a thing in the showcase and it's for sale, when all sell out, it is move. You don't see it in the showcase again. It's sold out.
Morning, Ojo. I have a simple way of putting this whole scenario that Nikki is painting. A person who picks up a flamboyant person, well, in the perspective of a man picking up a flamboyant woman, and then afterwards, when he has her, I would say, within his space, and decided to go out with her and don't like how she dressed, he has insecurity problems.
True.
Right, well, yeah, it's a patriarchal society. That's why men try to control them by how they dress and act. My father wants grandkids, but I told him I don't want kids, so don't expect none from me. I'm an independent woman, feminist, who's 25 years old, and I don't follow society's rules.
She have plenty friends. A lot of friends.
To quote Wyclef Jean, just because she dances go-go, it don't mean she's a ho-ho. The
Facts.
hypocrisy against women is unfortunate, and men can sing about drugs and guns, nothing. But a woman singing about her sexuality is judged. It's entertainment, and only that. Even as parents, we have to educate our children to understand that and not fall into these traps.
That is
And that's my main concern. Like, I have nieces, and I've always been concerned about this world that they're growing up into, which is sexuality, and I encountered it early. I remember my niece, her first picture on Facebook was very suggestive, and she was very young, and feeling that for her to be on social media and look cool, she had to show a little cleavage, and I had to talk to her, and so it's up to the village we talk about. We need to go back to
that's
that.
the importance of your guardians and your parents.
How you bring up your kids.
At the end of the day, why? So you go in and blame. That goes back straight to like Biggie and Tupac days as well, you know. Where because I'm an artist and I will express myself and my life and what I went through and all these things, I have a responsibility
to your child,
to other people as well, and other people children. Cartel and all went through that.
I think men tend to be rather selfish when it comes to their women's bodies. We want a level of exclusivity. We want to feel special. We won't if every Tom, Dick, and Harry can see what we're getting. If her dressing sexy is what initially attracted us, then we know it will attract other men as well. So there's an element of insecurity there as well.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, right, a woman dressing sexy sometimes, you see, that's where the misconception comes. See, when you say you're on the market, you're trying to prove a single. Some women don't dress sexy because they're trying to say they're on the market, you know.
No.
That's just who they feel as an individual. It's individuality. They believe that, listen, I look good.
Just a fit for
This
me
is
and you,
how
baby.
I feel, and this is
Me
I'm
and
expressing
you.
a feeling of me.
This WAP is for you, baby. All yours. But you
understand?
imagine you go out and you dress up real nice and nobody not on you. Like your thing fully on the shelf, up in front. And nobody,
That happens too.
Nah, boy. Nobody not on you.
Morning
That's
to
a
the-
different story.
That whole different thing. That not even cool though.
Morning to the Francis family out in Philadelphia. You go, my brother.
You see my woman tonight? No, is she? She here?
Someone cheating has nothing to do with their significant other. Saying that you believe is just making excuses as why you did what you did.
What to say somebody cheating has nothing to do with a significant other? That's not entirely true.
What?
That is not
So
entirely
don't like
true.
so. When I start doing the same thing, he start to be offended, telling me he don't know why does he care have no friends. But everybody you want to be your friends, you want them either half naked or they're rubbing up on you in public.
Nah, that whole different thing.
Where's all you?
She doing a different thing there.
Men hide. If you know how you will feel shame about things you do, then don't do it. Women make up their minds when they go down that road. Eyes lighter because you remember you was with 7 women every day a week. You could get old now and still want to jump out yourself. You don't even know how to treat a woman because all you know to do is jam and
Wow.
still need help out there. That's the same woman.
Wow.
That
Nah,
personal, yeah,
that personal. That personal.
Well, wait. Nikki, Jaiga. You have to understand, it have 2 Cardi B, you know. It have Cardi B with the makeup and the 10 pound of makeup. And it have Cardi B who does be in the house looking like Grandma
mother.
Nancy.
Right.
So which one the man cheat on?
Still, now come on, that's immaturity, man. You can't cheat on somebody because they're looking like a granny. It doesn't matter. People are
At the end
people.
of the day, exactly. Even she was a stripper or not, there's some things that the woman said I agree with in terms of, and I said what they were already. Kids growing up and young girls especially feeling that that's the only way you could find love. You have to be half naked on the grams and get as much likes as possible and be out there. And that's the reality. That's what cutie is about. That's the whole thing about.
Sorry to say this, but I blame fathers for that, though.
Yeah.
I blame fathers for
fathers
that.
are missing.
Women who think like that, I blame fathers because they never experience what real love is, though. You understand? And that's responsibility. That responsibility of a father to ensure that your daughters, especially, get a kind of love and respect themselves in a way where when they see how you treat them, come on, they automatically set a standard for themselves.
A man or a man supposed to love you. There's the first place.
Because before the jam, there's a kind of there's certain things that men do and ultimately under all this shit talk. Let me be real here, guys. When a man is interested in a woman or loves a woman, he does things from an unconditional space. People like to say, well, man will love unconditional. That is not true. When a man really loves somebody, it comes natural. You will walk down the road and if you see a man selling plum, in buying the plum, you might see the plum, and sometimes you don't want the plum, but you know, God boy, Tasha like plum, I buy 2 bags of plum. When you in a relationship like that, where, if you know you get like a little skin up, you go buy 2 bags of skin up on the side of the road, aka Chenet. You understand? It comes from a different place. It comes from a different place. It comes from a place of real love, a connection, and people, and that it happens and it's out there. But when you see it's not reciprocated in terms of there are women who. And when you start to go in a relationship with somebody who continuously makes comparisons because of the influence of society and social media, okay, your man bring a little plum home for you. Is plum you bring for me? Tasha man is safe up and carry she booze. It's when you start to go down them road, it's when you will have issues.
You have issues, definitely.
You have issues.
Or they're watching social media, all of a sudden the size ring the man give is too small. Or the car is a foreign use compared to a brand new car.
And all them said that nonsense. When you start to make comparisons like that, you get caught up in the socials media. Your real life becomes a problem.
Exactly. Early morning, I was struggling with this topic a little bit because I don't like the direction that it's going. When I first heard this song, I said, yes, right, good. I loved it. They're embracing their sexuality as women because people ultimately put shame on sexuality when it comes to women, and I don't endorse that. But when I heard Cardi say the line, let me show you how I got this ring, I said, no, boy, she dropped the ball. And I feel that she dropped the ball based on that line simply because it means that to her, she became validated when she got the ring. She became worthy when she got the ring. So the man made her by choosing her who she is. And I don't endorse that for women at all. But we're not talking about the fact that whether you like her or whatever, and this is for any woman, she still was consistent and she still is who she is. So yeah, she was a stripper and whatever, but she never stepped out, though he stepped out. She was fully ready and committed to this marriage. And he stepped out. Maybe he wasn't ready. He was the boy. He wasn't grown yet and ready for all that it brought to it. And let me be real about who brought more value and who was more worthy. Because to me, she didn't catch how valuable she was to him. Who making more money, who is more well known, who is more of a catch to look at, who, you know what I mean? So she clearly didn't value herself enough in that regard. Not as far as her sexuality, because sexuality is for everybody, and I say embrace it no matter who you are or what your preferences might be. So to judge and say, well, why men, nah, I ain't like that.
Thank you, Lily. Stacy says, I'm over 40 and enjoying my life. I'm really not into no one stressing me out. If you can't keep up, get out.
Blessing, all woman is wife material. A man can hold on to a woman past or she present lifestyle. If you know he can't deal with it, how it is, they will move forward. But at the end of the day, men like to tote feelings and stigmatize, and women like to stigmatize man too. But I just say, if a man know he can handle a sports car, partner, you stay Taylor and Almira and you stay humble. That way your money could reach and thing, and don't go over the speed limit because you'll crash.
You'll crash. That is my point exactly.
If they can't afford Stacey, leave she.
At the end of the day, it's like you have to, it might sound, the analogy might sound crass, but at the end of the day, it's not like you're shopping for an item, but in a relationship, when you get into it, and people make mistakes, you see it after. You cannot go. You driving down Richmond Street. Richmond Street is the baller street of Trinidad and Tobago, right? And up on the highway on the left. You can't drive down Richmond and glance to the left. Inside of the left, there's only 745, a 325, and 525, and you cannot afford that. Pass Richmond Street straight. Pass Richmond Street straight and go and watch me find yourself somewhere down HMS and things down in Central and get yourself
a little foreign news.
You understand? You seeing there, you say, nah, boy, if I save up, I go buy it, but then how you paying for it better when it's time to service? When it's time to service, maintain. How you doing it? How are you doing it?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think. Where Nikki going?
I just saying, my boy say, Uncle, no one care about Trump. Thanks, Ojo, for bringing real issues and real conversation.
You know, everybody really care for real, no?
Nobody care about Trump.
Right, talk about him.
We had to talk about him, but not today.
He's Monday and Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, not today.
Cardi B
one in Canberra.
Offset relationship one. I don't think we can't mesh her career with her marriage, right? Her career is something separate in itself, and she does it well. That song was number one on the Billboard.
It do what it had to do.
It did what it had to do.
She's doing her job. She
sell records, and that is the whole point of putting out music to the people.
No, I kind of moved on from Cardi and WAP, and Offset, meaning that it just branched off into the other topics.
Right, well, I addressing what the young lady had to say about Hannah Boy. And on the pointer, well, I don't know if Cardi and Offset had a mutual agreement and still listen. You do your thing, I do my thing, we take care of our daughter. And,
I'm sure they had
because in the public statement she said she want an amicable divorce, is no bacchanal. She not in a case like we next brethren, Dr. Dre is not seen like that.
Oy,
no, Dr. Dre office management saying the wife was
thieving
money.
I don't know.
But that guy said it was so true just now because, it's a case of you dress too sexy and they cheat on you and you change your whole mood to set what they want and they still cheat. If you want to cheat, you will cheat regardless of what the situation is. It has nothing to do with what your partner does or look like.
You long flower just along my knee.
Morning, Jaiga again. Jaiga, you see what you just said, that you blame fathers for that? That is so true. They don't play a part in their daughter's life, but they spend a lot of time in other people's life. That's why they feel like they don't value themselves. So they need a man to make them something. Thanks for what you said, Jaiga.
No, but that's true though. At the end of the day, I might talk my little thing and have my jokes, but the reality is, Dread, most of the times, and I encounter it as a man, and you have met so many women over the years who there's one underlining factor. When they have similarities, the similarities all stem from the fact that when you ask and you dig into the history, their relationship with their father is trash.
Or have none at all.
So a man will cheat on a woman regardless of how much he loves her, how great she treats him, whether she looks like J-Lo, whether she looks like Halle Berry, whether she has a WAP like Cardi B. She can be the most beautiful, sexiest woman in the world, and he would still cheat on her. And he would cheat on her with somebody that he doesn't even have any type of feelings for. And I've always tried to understand that. Maybe you guys can enlighten me on why men do that.
I could tell you.
Say it's two separate things.
No. Let me tell you what happens, and I can speak from my generation, from my zone, from my perspective. I don't have all the answers. According to I like what you call them, sway. I don't have all the answers. But what I can tell you is it comes from a place of, most times it comes from a place of women a lot of women don't understand the balancing of a man's ego. I'm not saying a man needs validation every day. I have to prop him up and say, call him king, you are the boss.
Yeah, but we have to understand.
You have to understand your role as a woman. A man's role is to also remind his significant other how beautiful she is, not only physically. There's a lot of things that women do that is not physical beauty, but it's beautiful in terms of the way they do it and the way they carry themselves, the way they keep a house, the way they communicate with your family, the way they communicate with you. Communication could be a beautiful thing. And vice versa. Some women believe they get into a frame of mind where they start to say things like, you're a man, deal with it. You're a man, handle it. You're a man. Yes, being a man, the word MAN, comes with a lot of responsibilities, but also a man needs to be reminded he's also a human being. And human beings like to feel a particular way. It's a sense of appreciation. So for that situation where your woman can look all best, whatever, and the man still cheat, it's because maybe somewhere along the line, and then two men suffer from their own insecurities too.
That's all I'm going to say.
Men
I believe
suffer
it's
from
more
their
insecurities more than anything.
And not only that, but I think as women, we expect men to be almost perfect, meaning that we expect all the things we grew up hearing what a man should be. When we fall in love, we expect man to be those things, responsible, looking out for their family, not cheating, But we also have to remember men have their baggage. Men have their own
mental issues.
Yeah, but he's a man.
But
he's a man.
Yeah, that's what they think.
He's
Because you're a
You're
man, you
supposed
shouldn't
to
have it.
handle everything.
And next thing too, like you look on the outside and you see people in relationships and say, look how nice she living and right? But she's also living, or they are living with hiccups by society standard. There are women who are living in homes, beautiful homes,
there's no perfect
where
relationship out there.
the man that they're married to have a harem, but they are well maintained. The man they have to
and
have.
there are women who know that, and they know they're well maintained, and they're not leaving the marriage
Because of the maintenance.
because knowing that he had a little small apartment, then let me
I
stay
ain't for
here.
that, no, boy.
And
I
that's
ain't
what it
gonna
is.
enjoying you already.
Ocho World, good morning.
Hey, why?
Good morning,
We
Ocho World
miss
is a
ya.
blessing, Sienna man. But anyway, I run out to say, it has some women out there that make the mother look bad. That has make the mother look like they drag them up with no kind of morals and self-respect. Now it have a difference with being sexy and being provocative. You want to try a little skin, you want to show off yourself. It's a carnival time to do that. You understand where I'm coming from? But some of you out here in the work week with all your whole camel toe printing. And then all you want man to respect all you. Now the issue with Cardi B and Offset is we living in a time where it have no loyalty. It have 20 women to one man because half the man and them looking at the self. You know why? Because women ain't gain them nothing to look at. Women ain't have nothing to offer more than the skin and the size of the camel toe and the pegs who on the loose. You hear me? Have a blessed one, Ocho World.
We will finish with that one.
Yeah.
Hey, why I shut down the show with that?
No.